This episode is sponsored by iTunes. Go to www.cheapseatreviews.com. Click on the iTunes button, purchase anything you want, and a small portion will go to this podcast.
Two households, both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is a normal, ordinary episode of 107 is our episode, and it's a normal episode. I am back home. I'm not on the road.
A pox upon your house.
It should sound at least halfway decent, and hopefully I won't have to spend 12,000 hours editing this episode. Today we are talking about, this is episode, what is this? 107.
And this one is dedicated to our most loyal listener,
Jen. Our first and probably only female listener.
Even our wives have given up on us.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Today
I live in a cardboard box now
because of the podcast. Today we're talking about Shakespeare.
My children every other weekend now.
Oh, wow, this got sad real fast. We are talking, but it's actually appropriate because we're talking about Shakespeare in Love. And I am Shawn, and joining me tonight is Andrew Smoking Boots Jemison.
You, sir, are a gentleman, and you, sir, are a Warwickshire shithouse.
Thank you. That may or may not come up later.
Oh.
Cornelius can beat Shakespeare in a paper basketball tournament, Logan.
Oh, yeah. That's all I got, baby.
Okay. Thanks, Lando. And Sam, boy, it was a good thing it was a windy day, Vector.
So I've looked up a site that I'm going to be using most tonight, and it's the random Shakespeare insult generator.
Okay.
So Shawn,
yeah,
thou impertinent whoreson giglet.
Okay, thanks. Maybe,
yeah, just so you know,
or maybe I'm offended. I don't know. That sounded weird.
How about this? Your virginity breeds mites, much like a cheese.
Oh,
wow. That's
that one actually kind of stings a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's
flubber some dismal dreaming pigeon egg.
Anyway, so let's pull up a comfy chair and dive into this show. By the way, Star Wars in Shakespearean English is awesome.
Really?
It's a book you can get at Barnes & Nobles or Books A Million, and it's the three...
Is it an audiobook or is it a...
No, you have to read it. But...
There's words?
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to the wrong crowd.
I was going to say, man, of all the things I didn't think I wanted before, this is...
Are there pictures?
No, there's no pictures. Again, there's a reason why we are sponsored by Audible.com, because you can just have the words read to you.
Nice.
Anyway.
Those words. Sketchy.
Is it an activity book?
No, it's not an adult coloring book either.
Does it come with colors?
No. Well, the cover has colors. But anyway, it's actually cool, and we should. I'm not saying we should do it, but anyway. So this is.
What's it do? No. How does this work? Is it like, no, Luke, I am your father, or is it?
Okay, hold on. You really want to know?
How does it change? Yeah. What is the Shakespearean equivalent of some of these lines?
All right, I'll tell you if it's online. I've read a couple of passages.
What does Jar Jar sound like?
They only did 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, as it should be.
Whether your tastes run to Alderaan or Avon, this reigning of reimagining. No, hold on. That's not. That's what. Excerpt. Okay. Return once more into a galaxy far, far away with the sublime retelling of George Lucas's epic Star Wars. Ian. What?
Ian
Well, yeah.
Fleming?
No.
Oh.
Fleming.
I want the excerpt. I don't want to read what people think about it.
Don't make me read.
I don't mind reading. I just want to read the things I want to read. Why read words when you can kill the stuff the words tell you stuff about? Sorry, I love that line. Okay, I'm almost there. Sorry, hang on. This is great. Chorus. Enter chorus. Chorus. It is imperial civil war. The spaceships of the rebels, striking swift from the base unseen, have gained a victory o'er the cruel galactic empire now adrift. Amidst the battle, rebel spies prevailed and stole the plans to a space station vast, whose powerful beams will later be unveiled and crush a planet. 'Tis the Death Star blast. Pursued by agents sinister and cold, now Princess Leia to her home doth flee, delivering plans and a new hope they hold of bringing freedom to the galaxy. In a time so long ago begins our play in star-crossed galaxy far, far away.
Okay, now do it in Shakespearean.
Oh, wait, that was.
Did you say Leia? Or did you say Leah?
I said Leia.
No, you said Leah.
Did I say Leia? Oh,
You
I'm
did
have to
say Leia.
Enter C-3PO and R2-D2. C-3PO. Now it is the summer of our happiness, made winter by this sudden fierce attack. Our ship is under siege. I'm not going to do the rest of this podcast reading Shakespeare. Anyway, that could be a different. That could be a different podcast altogether. Anyway, this is Shakespeare in Love. This is 1998's Shakespeare in Love, and fortunately, Andrew has some words to say about it.
A young Shakespeare, out of ideas and short of cash, meets his ideal woman and is inspired to write one of his most famous stories. Or plays. Sorry.
Plays.
I could read the last word instead of making that up in my head.
That's not how we do things here.
No, that's not how this show rolls. That's kind of it, basically. So the concept is that it's William Shakespeare, and he has lost his way. He needs a muse. He finds Gwyneth Paltrow and falls in love, and he basically the movie depicts him telling the story of Romeo and Juliet, kind of through their love story, and that's kind of what happens. They create the Romeo and Juliet. So I asked the question.
Is it Juliet and the Pirate King?
Well, it was Romeo and the Pirate King. It was always Romeo.
Romeo and the Pirate
and
King's
Ethel
daughter.
and the Pirate
Yeah, first it was Romeo and
the Pirate
Ethel.
King's daughter.
Yeah, and then Romeo and then Victoria. It was going to be the other girl, or whatever, right? And then it turned to somebody else. And then Ben Affleck was like, just do Romeo and Juliet. You know, he basically he did what
It'll
they
be Wicked Smart.
he basically did what what's his name Justin Timberlake did in The Social Network. Dropped the just Facebook. It's basically what he did there. So I asked the question: has anyone seen this movie before this viewing?
Yep, once before. I try to make it a point to see all the Best Picture winners.
All right, Corny.
Really?
Or another.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
You saw bits and pieces of Gwyneth Paltrow, didn't you?
Actually, I did not know that it was in there.
Yeah.
I did see the fight scene, and I saw some movie a long time ago where a guy was making out with another guy who looked very feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Now I realize it was this.
Nice. Andrew?
I'm about the same. I've seen bits and pieces. Bits and pieces.
So you
It's
saw
going to be my band's first album.
you
Yeah.
saw the dog,
Pieces.
right?
I have seen bits and pieces, as my wife has been watching it, and I chose not to. But I caught a few things.
All right. Well, go ahead and expound more on your initial thoughts, sir.
My initial thoughts. When I started, and to be honest, and this was no offense to Jen, I thought, I do not want to watch this at all. And after I started watching it, I thought, hey, this is all right. And by the time I finished it, I like it. I think it's nice. It's a nice little film, and I had a good time watching it.
All right. Corny.
Actually, I did go into this with a little bit of a. I actually kind of wanted to see this movie all the way through because I've heard things about it over time, and that's kind of a good movie, and I actually really appreciated how the story went. It's not really original in terms of a story becoming part of the story, but either way, I kind of liked how this whole thing laid out. I wish there would have been at least one explosion, but.
You could technically say there were 3.
Okay. Probably more than 3, actually. There was a lot of that going on.
Well, that's true. I didn't really count.
Okay. Are you done, Corny?
Oh, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Sam?
All right. This is my first time. No, this is my second time watching this. What am I talking about? I was trying to look up an insult to call Shawn, but I was too late. But anyway, Shawn, thou venom-flapped mouth canker blossom. My second time watching this movie, I like it, and I forgot how much I did like it. I'm not much for rom-coms. I think they're really dumb and make no sense. And a lot of times, really bad people get together in really weird situations that shouldn't happen. This movie was interesting, to say the least. I love the writing of this movie. I love how they wove the idea of Romeo and Juliet with whatever the heck was going on with Shakespeare. I love all the characters around Shakespeare. And, all the different arcs you see in this movie, from what's the name of the guy that he ended up being the guy who sold the poison? He was
Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah, but what was his character? He was the money man.
Well, he was the money man. Yeah,
he was the money man. Where he kind of comes around to actually
Hugh Finneman
doing. Yeah. To Barbosa.
Jeffrey Rush.
Trying to get it to work. I had no idea Ben Affleck was in this movie. And I'd seen this movie before. I was expecting Matt Damon to pop up somewhere, and that would have been great. But the villains, the bad guys were bad guys, and it was fun to hate them. Claire Danes was awesome.
Thank you. That was literally like my third note. Gwyneth Paltrow looks like Claire Danes from Stardust.
With eyebrows.
Well, I mean, they weren't that much darker eyebrows than Claire Danes' eyebrows from Stardust.
That's true.
No. Here's the difference. She had eyebrows.
Yeah.
Claire Danes has eyebrows. I hate you both.
But despite Gwyneth Paltrow's weird real-life dealings, I liked her in this movie. I thought she was amazing. She deserves the win that she got. And I had a lot of fun. It was fun. It was a fun movie. And it wasn't this stupid, cheesy rom-com that you would think it would be. It actually had some heart and some intelligence to it.
And a lot of boning.
And a lot of semi man-on-man stuff. Yeah.
Well, it is the theater.
Now, was it just me or Shakespeare? It's kind of like the whole idea of Superman and Clark Kent, and he just puts on glasses and it's Clark Kent, right?
But he also had a goatee. Now, but also in fairness too, they're not expecting a woman; they're expecting him to be a boy or a man, whatever.
But come on, really?
I mean, I don't know. I guess
I don't know.
I mean, they do that in like a bunch of other movies, right? Like She's the Man. They make Amanda Bynes look like a boy.
Yeah.
And there's other movies they do that, right?
But here's the weird thing: do you think it felt weird to kiss her with her mustache on?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If the guy who's playing Shakespeare, don't you think that would have felt just a little strange?
I also like the fact that when he kissed her as Master Kent, everyone in the room was like, "Okay, well, he's really into this, isn't he?" Like he's like, can't you kind of see the other guy going, "I gotta kiss him like that?" Mm-hmm. So this was for me my first time seeing it all the way through. My mom got this when I was in high school, and I watched it with her, but I don't remember. Seriously, I'm kind of like, I don't remember whoever it was. They said, I remember the fight scene because I remember all the feathers, and that was funny. I remember the other scene where the girl is having sex with the dude and they're still having a conversation, right? And like they're just talking. And I remember being in the room with my mom going, this is kind of weird. And then I remember...
wait till you watch Nymphomaniac with her.
Yeah, that's not ever going to happen.
That's going to be strange.
And then...
The fact that movie doesn't die is amazing.
And then I remember the end with the Queen and the thing like that. But yeah, I'm kind of with, I think Andrew, you said the point that like when we found out we were doing this, we were all, I was kind of like, I don't really want to do this. Like I've seen, and then I got about 15 minutes in the movie. I'm like, this isn't a rom-com. Like,
Yeah.
like this is a romantic movie that has some comedic moments, but this is a drama and it's really good. And then I started researching it. I had no clue that this won 7 Oscars.
The hell?
This won 7 Oscars.
Actually, I can see that.
And Dame Judi Dench, which is Sam's avatar on Skype tonight, which is great, by the way.
And creepy.
Well, whatever. It won Best Picture, Best Actress in a leading role for Gwyneth Paltrow, with her weird daughter named Apple. Best Actress in a supporting role by Judi Dench, who had like 4 minutes of movie time, and won.
They were fantastic. They really were.
They were awesome. She was great. She seemed terrifying in a queen-like manner. You know, like I would have been terrified if she walked into the room.
Yeah, turns out she wasn't acting. She was just being
being her. Yeah, just being. Best writing for screenplay, best art direction, best costume design. Those costumes they wore were great, and they looked like. I looked at they looked authentic, but I looked at that and went, I would hate to have lived during that time period. Not for the whole serfdom and the plague and all of the other horrible things that were going on, but mainly just the clothes. And then also won Best Music, Original Music, or Comedy Score. They eventually changed it to just Best Film Score. Stephen Warbeck won for Best Score, and this is a good score too. This is good music.
It really is.
It's nice and pretty and interesting, and he's still writing music, mostly French.
I actually, I heard the score about 10 years ago, and had no idea that it was the score to this movie. Somebody had made me a CD of a mixtape. A mixtape of movie scores, and there was no label, and there was no listing of what was on there, and I just popped it in, and for years I never knew what it was, and then when I watched the movie, I thought, oh my god, that's Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm gonna stall for time here for just a half a second, as Sam's Skype quit on him for some reason. Are you back, Sam?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. That was weird.
Yeah, no, it was a good score. I really enjoyed it. And
absolutely.
And he's done a bunch of work, just not a bunch of stuff I'd ever heard of, but mostly French work.
Your French work.
No.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
That's one of my favorite memes. Anytime somebody is laying down, you're getting that meme, after you. I love it. Anyway, so yeah, where do I start with this movie? I guess I'm just going to start off with saying, I really, really liked it. I mean, I did. And I was pleasantly surprised. I found myself really having to listen to the dialogue because they didn't dumb it down.
Yeah.
They didn't turn it into just regular English. They used old English. And at times it was hard to hear, understand some things. I had to rewind a couple of times. And
I love the idea of the Easter eggs with the, every now and then you hear something that Shakespeare would use later in some other play or some other, something. And knowing just a little bit that I know, which is not much.
Right.
That I found that really enjoyable.
Like the skull, I think, is Hamlet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the beginning, he's throwing the paper and he hits the skull, and then he hits like a mug or something, and or a bank, and it's supposed to be like the something of
Merchant of Venice.
Yeah, thank you, the Merchant of Venice.
Yeah.
This movie actually kind of wanted me to go read Shakespeare.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like
kind of. It's still way over my head. I'll admit that right now. I was never a fan.
I have seen the Mel Gibson Hamlet movie, which was good. And I was the boom guy / key grip for Much Ado About Middle School, which is a play off of Much Ado About Nothing. But anyway, one of the fun little movies I did. But that's pretty much it for me. So I kind of want to see some more of it or read some of it. I don't know. I'm still reading other books and failing miserably at that. But so Sam, you mentioned Jeffrey Rush, Barbossa. His voice was freaking me out because I'm used to him with this deep Barbossa, you're off the edge of the mat here, matey, kind of talk. And he had this kind of strange lilty voice the whole time, and it was weirding me out a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, but he does have a thing for boats. Like, he just could not stop talking about pirates.
He loved him some pirates, didn't he?
Yes, he does.
Boy,
I loved it. Yeah.
Foreshadowing for 2003, so you got 5 more years to go. And of course, he and Colin Firth would play again in The King's Speech.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, which is another great movie.
Yes,
it is.
Really is.
I have not seen that one.
Oh,
you need to watch it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the podcast.
What?
Yeah, they just stutter.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Nice.
Sam's already started the show off insulting people with speech impediments.
Nice.
I would never do such a thing. I'm too nice a person.
That's not true at all. Says the guy who's been insulting me in Victorian English for the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
Anyway, no, so I liked him, and yeah, he and Colin Firth. One of my notes was, it's a good thing that I have already seen The Kingsman and loved it, because I really hated Colin Firth at the end of this movie. He was just a terrible person. He's a horrible human being, but but he's also a punchline and a trope, because part of what makes his character not only evil, but also another thing that you hate about him is that he is so clueless to the world, what he feels is beneath him, right? This play, this theater world, which is beneath him, that he couldn't tell the difference between William Shakespeare and that Marlowe guy, who are both well-known playwrights of that time. And rumors is that Marlowe was actually gay and kind of open about it during that time. That was some of the trivia that I read. But he was so out of tune with anything that he was just willing to, off the word of Shakespeare dressed as a woman, he went and killed that poor guy. So, which was sad.
Did anybody else get the? Well, was it kind of reminiscent of A Knight's Tale, only without the pop music and the old English? Like, to me, it was reminiscent of that. I enjoyed it the same way, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Oops, sorry, microphone. I'm with you there. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Some of the things that I thought were kind of fun was okay, so Sam, to your point about Ben Affleck being in this movie. I didn't know he was in the movie, and he's really good in this movie.
Yeah.
I see this movie and go, this is why people keep hiring him for work, because he's actually good. And then he does something like the next year he does friggin' it wasn't the next year, it was like 2 years later he does
Gigli?
No, well, he did that, but I was thinking of Daredevil.
Yeah. I'm probably still one of the few people who actually liked Daredevil.
I like the there's parts of that movie that I actually like, but not enough. I saw it with you in the theater at the Dollar Theater in Boone.
That's
and I remember walking away from that going,
I could not get through that movie. That is miserable. It's a miserable movie.
I remember asking you, Courtney, is that like anything like the comic book? And you're like, well, they got the fact that he's blind right, so that's about it. And that he's a lawyer. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Anything else? What? Really? Okay.
Hey, want to go get some Mexican? Yeah, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I will say this. I remember this like broke the world. I mean, I guess if 2003 had, or 2003 or 2, if it had Twitter, it would have broken Twitter when they cast Michael Clark Duncan as
The Kingpin.
the Kingpin.
Yeah.
People were pissed. He's black, so he can't be black. Why not? But he can't, So it's like from Serenity. You want to be captain? Yes. Well, you can't. So anyway, I remember that breaking what little of the internet we had back then. Sorry, my computer keeps sending me management notifications. I don't know what's happening, but anyway, hopefully the show is still recording.
Show's not going very well, so we're just gonna give you a warning here.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like it says
memo from management.
I don't know what's going on.
We're gonna need you to come in and do the podcast on the weekend. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm gonna need that TPS report. Actually, it's funny, Sam. You said it literally looks like, or it felt like just a moment ago when you said that she put on the facial hair, and you're making fun of the Superman thing. My note literally says a little facial hair, short wig, and she goes from Superman to Clark Kent. It is literally as if you read my notes. But this idea that back in the day that women couldn't be in the theater because they were women is, I mean, I guess. Here I stand in 2016, and I know that seems strange to me, but I didn't know that was a thing. But
Trump's cool with that, though.
But I know that that back then the world was such a backward place, and the way they thought about things, and I mean some of the books that I've read during that time period. I mean, Sam, did you read Pillars of the Earth?
Yeah.
Like that's the same time period.
Yeah.
Well, it's before then. I guess it's a little before then. But it's still like if you were a woman and you were kind of forward thinking and someone didn't like you, they just called you a witch.
You're a witch.
Right.
Let's throw you in a pond.
I mean,
Burn her.
It was crazy.
She floats. Yeah.
Yeah, what they did. If she floats, she's a witch. If she doesn't, sorry. Anyway.
Wait a second.
You know what else
I choose
floats?
cake.
Choose cake. It's cake on death.
Cake, please.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna do that bit again. We've already done that in an episode. So I'm gonna play.
Bit keeps showing up.
So I'm gonna play this instead.
I can pay you.
When?
2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most. Oh, for pity's sake.
Take them out. Where will you find?
£16, 5 shillings and 9pence.
Including interest in 3 weeks.
I have a wonderful new play.
Put them back in.
Like, once that happened, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't what I think this is going to be. Like, that's funny, right? They start the movie off torturing a guy for money.
Yeah.
And they make it kind of comedic, right? I mean, it's kind of a funny bit. And then they make this gag, they pull that gag later on when Shakespeare goes to therapy, right? Rush is sitting outside with his feet in the trough because his feet still hurt from the fire. Like, that's a funny bit.
That's the only. Oh,
Go
sorry.
Andrew,
I was
go.
gonna say that's the only time in the movie that I felt like something was a little off, because they had this torture scene at the beginning, and then we had this beautiful music playing over top of it, and I thought this does not fit at all. But then, I end up liking the music, so I didn't really care.
Right. But what was your point, Sam?
Oh, I was gonna say, it was a little odd to me, and it brought me out of the movie. And this is one of the problems I saw in the movie, and one of the rare few ones. The thing they were burning his feet in didn't look real.
Oh,
it looked like a Halloween prop.
Oh yeah, like the fake coals or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I didn't even really notice because my first thought was, oh, that's Barbossa. Hey, and that's the bad guy from The Patriot. Okay. Oh, look, they're burning his feet. All right. Well, okay. So I didn't even notice it. And then the guy who was the money nerd, 16 pounds, blah, 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 he is a scientist in The Fifth Element. So he has made Cheapseat Reviews twice now. And oddly enough, this is our second Joseph Fiennes movie, where not only is he, well, this is not only our second Joseph Fiennes movies, but this is our second one where he's a writer. in our movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just kind of funny because of the Enemy at the Gate movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right? I'm pretty sure this is our first Gwyneth Paltrow movie, though.
Avengers.
Oh, sorry, because we didn't do Iron Man. We have talked about Iron Man.
But she's not in Avengers 2.
Oh, that's right.
Only Corny and I did Avengers.
Huh.
So, yeah. So I guess technically, yeah, she has been in the podcast. But
Good old Pepper Potts.
yeah, we didn't talk about her
Yeah,
at all.
that's what I'm calling for the rest of the podcast.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
That's fine.
I'll just keep calling her Claire Danes.
So how about, I mean, she did look like her. I thought she seriously looked like her. The funny part is the only reason why Ben Affleck was even in this movie is because he was dating her at the time.
He was chasing tail.
Well, he was chasing his tail, or his girl's tail. I mean, they were dating.
Yeah.
Could it have been a knight's tale?
No, they weren't knights.
Nice.
She was in Sky Captain.
Oh, yeah, she was in Sky Captain. Lynn's Cap. Yeah, I forgot about that. So this will be kind of our third of hers. Nice. Well, good for her. And one of these days we're gonna do the crap. What are they called? The Kingsmen.
Yes.
And
whenever it becomes available.
Oh my gosh! And then we can talk about Colin Firth and how freaking awesome he is. He should have won an Oscar for that movie. I don't know why, but he just should have. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so next clip.
Will you lend me £50?
£50? What for?
Burbage offers me a partnership in the Chamberlain's Men for £50. My days as a hired player are over.
Oh, cut out my heart. Throw my liver to the dogs.
No, then.
Again, like that stuff was funny, but this is the movie, a movie. Damn it, Shawn, talk. This is the kind of movie that got me, like other movies have. Like I remember I'm mentioning when we watched Nightcrawler, where I kind of got when I was going back to play. Right when
what, brah? Tell me, brah.
Oh wait, I have that.
Hey, brah.
There it is. That I got sucked back into the movie when I was playing clips. Like I would play the clip to record it, and then 8 minutes later, I'm like, oh crap, I did the same thing with this. And so like when I got to that scene, like I just kept going, and I was listening to what the preacher was screaming about. And the preacher actually is quoting Shakespeare. I can't remember he's making, because the theater house was called The Rose. And there's that line where a rose by any other name would still be a rose or something like that. And but he turns it on its ear or something like that. I don't remember the line, but I saw it in the trivia. And of course he's at the end screaming like the rest of them. So let's talk about Dolores Umbridge for a second. The one of our two Harry Potter connections for this movie. The other one being, of course, Ron Weasley's father, the guy who has a speech impediment, who is the narrator of the story. Who this will be our second movie with him, because he was in Stardust. Where was I going with that? Crap.
This crap brought to you by.
Holy crap! Seriously, like the whole thought just like vanished like a fart in the wind. Where was I going with that? Who was I literally just talking about?
You were
Dolores Umbridge. Holy crap!
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez.
It was at that show note that Shawn realized he was getting.
Well, I'm using my show notes, but I'm not using them apparently well enough.
Better get busy reading or get busy getting lost.
Right. No joke. So Imelda Staunton. No, not
right. Shostakovich.
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
Staunton. She was, of course, Dolores Umbridge, but she was the nurse in this movie. She was the best bro ever.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Like, let's be honest.
I loved her rocking outside the door.
She was
the vapors as she's listening to whatever's going on.
But like the other woman's coming up and she's just trying to make noise so that the other girl doesn't hear things happening.
Yes.
It was so great. She was the
Much
coolest.
kudos to that wingman because she was amazing.
She was the best wingman ever. I mean, to the point that like they had a secret language, right? They didn't even have to say words, right? When that crazy wind, the wind of convenience blew the poster for the play into his face, and he handed it to her, and Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper Potts, just looked at it and then looked at Dolores Umbridge, and they just kind of nodded. And so when she gets into the carriage, Umbridge runs up to Kingsman. What was his name? Lancelot? Or was he Galahad? From the Kingsman.
Oh.
I don't care about his name in this movie. That's the game I'm playing tonight. Everybody's going to have a different name.
Oh, Galahad. I think it might be Galahad.
Was it Galahad?
Yeah. Might have been.
He, she goes around, he gives him a big hug. He's like, I'm going to miss you. Thank you so much. Oh, crap, hit the microphone again. And she's like, whatever, right? And then, of course, Pepper Potts runs out the back door. And it was great. It was really funny. And, of course, they met up later because they both knew where to go. It was like she was the coolest wingman ever. That's what I'm just going to say. So,
absolutely.
Barney and Ted,
Fife.
Not Barney Fife, Barney Stinson, you got nothing on her, on the nurse. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
You must give me the highest of high fives.
Yeah, right. This was a funny line. I realized now that I've captured a lot of Jeffrey Rush, but I just liked his voice and the way he said things.
Ned Allen and the Admiral's men are out on tour. I need actors. Those of you who are unknown will have a chance to be known.
Well, what about the money, Mr. Henslow?
It won't cost you a penny.
Now, if you just close your eyes and imagine he's on a ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when he laughs, and you can definitely tell that that's Barbossa. I thought that was great. Speaking of boats.
Follow that boat. What you are, Governor?
Thought that was funny bit.
Boats.
Follow that boat. Yeah.
Follow that boat. What you are, Governor?
Follow that boat. Has that ever been said? I don't know. I guess it's...
Yes, actually.
Well, and there's a bit in there also, right? So it's like a follow that cab moment, right? But supposedly, none of us have ever lived in New York, so we don't really know cabbies that well. But supposedly, it's a thing when you get into a car with a cabbie, they like to brag about which famous person has been in their cab with them. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I know you. You're an actor. He says, yeah. And he's like, I had Marlowe in my boat one time. And of course, he rolls his eyes, because it's... Anyway, that was a funny bit. I chuckled.
He tried to sell him a screenplay.
Yeah. I'm a writer too. Can you mind reading this? Yeah.
But he had it with him.
Right.
I guess if you're sitting there waiting for people to transport, you just
write things, I guess.
Write things.
I loved the idea of that because that's something that would be like a nowadays thing. Like if you're a cabbie in New York and Scorsese gets in the back of your car, you're like, hey, what's up? Here's a script I wrote. I'm just going to drop this through the little window thing here, Like, I'm sure that probably happens daily.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I get your email address so I can email you my script? No.
Sure, it's never going to happen at
gmail.com. Leave me the hell alone at I'mCallingThePoliceNow.org.
Sam is a jerk at gmail.com.
Oh.
Actually, I think that exists. Didn't Chad actually...
Oh, I think you did, yes.
Hey, let's find out.
I think it's actually real. Anyway, I also laughed out loud hysterically when Colin Firth ran like a little girl when he thought the ghost of what's-his-face was at the church. And I mean, it was one of those like, what is happening? Why is he screaming like that? Because... Didn't you go kill the guy? Like, weren't you close enough to stab him to realize who you killed? I just thought that was really funny. And I mean, he ran. Oh, he thought the devil had come back. That was great.
The devil is not welcome here.
Yeah. And the funny part is like Shakespeare, he seemed to know what was happening. He walked in and just pointed at him and gave him an evil look, and he freaked out. Like, what if he just pointed at him and Firth was like, bring it on, let's go. We're going to throw down.
Or started running after him.
Yeah, like chased after, pulled his knife? That's not a word. Dagger or knife, and chased after him. That'd been even better, yeah. I did like the sword fight, though, towards the end, the big sword fight, and he stabbed him with the play sword. He kept, poking him with it and just kept bending. That was funny. So while we're on the subject of Colin Firth and his horrible character that he played, I know this is what happened back then, and being the soon-to-be father of a daughter, and Sam, the father of 2 daughters, this kind of talk...
And many more.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Okay. This kind of talk made me cringe.
She's a beauty, my lord, as would take a king to church for the dowry of a nutmeg.
My plantations in Virginia are not mortgaged for a nutmeg. I have an ancient name which will bring you preferment when your grandson is of Wessex. Is she fertile?
She will breed. If she do not, send her back.
Is she obedient?
As any mule in Christendom, but if you are the man to ride her, there are rubies in the saddlebag.
I like it.
If I would told you that they were talking about a horse, like a horse race, you know what I'm saying? Like,
of course,
they were talking about a horse that they're going to buy for the next Kentucky Derby, and they're just at some kind of weird European place where they're playing on the harpsichord.
And like, what would you do with this horse? Of course,
you would talk to it, and unless, of course, it was the famous Mr. Ed.
Ah, there you go.
I was trying to remember the song. I mean,
Joe Pesci would be proud.
Joe. Oh man, 44 minutes into the show, you sneak in Joe Pesci. We're gonna do a movie one of these days with Joe Pesci, just so
and I'm
that
not
I
gonna
can
say his name in any way, shape, or form.
That would actually be really funny. But I want to capture a line
the entire time or something.
Do what?
Call him Danny DeVito the entire time.
Yeah, remember when Danny DeVito, Joe Pesci? Who are you talking about? I've never heard of him. But I just want to like record dialogue of him, so then from now on, whenever you just say Joe Pesci, I can just play a line of dialogue from him. You know.
Well, you think it's funny? You think I'm here for your entertainment?
Yeah. So like whenever time anyone says talks about what's his name, Bill Paxton, I can just hit.
Hey, brah.
You know, so. I don't remember what this is, but here it is.
What is the play and what is my...
Okay, hold on. I remember what this is. So this was the moment in which, because Tom Wilkinson, right, the whole time, he's this like aggressive, I'm the money guy, I'm going to put your boots in fire, I'm going to kill you if you don't pay me my money, I'm in charge of this play, right? The whole time he is this thing, and then Ben Affleck shows up and completely changes everything, and it was awesome. Oop, not that. This.
Interrupt.
What is the play and what is my part?
One moment, sir.
Who are you?
I'm Batman. I'm the money.
Then you may remain, so long as you remain silent. Pay attention. You will see how genius creates a legend.
Thank you, sir.
I love that. It just completely puts him in his place. And from then on, you like his character, both Affleck's and Tom Wilkinson's character. Like, you like his character because he's kind of this funny guy who now gets excited about the idea of being part of the play. And is, like, immediately part of the family. You know what I'm saying? Because when later on, when they get canned, right, because of the girl bit, they're all drinking, and he's there buying everybody money, you know, beer. And then the other playhouse owner comes in. He just looks at his buddy. He's like, kill him. He's like, all right. He's like, wait, hold on. Like, that part was great. Like, I thought that was really great. Sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Thank you, Ned. You are a gentleman, and you are a Warwickshire shithouse.
Apparently, the shit houses in that particular.
Get away with that.
On this podcast, and I'm not quite sure.
I wish I'd have known that back in college.
You were a what's the word again? Warwickshire? Worcestershire?
Warwickshire.
Warwickshire? Is that like is that like those shit houses, or are they worse there than they are in?
I don't know, but anytime that a certain assistant dean of the School of Music said, "Good morning, gentlemen," I was said, "Good morning, Warwickshire shithouse."
Oh, that's great.
Cornelius.
Yeah, he got that. He got me on that one too. That kind of reminded me. That bit reminded me of Robin Hood Men in Tights. So latrine, that's an interesting name. When we came here, we changed it. You changed it to latrine? Yeah, it used to be shithouse. That's a good change. Yep, here comes the best line in the movie.
Ned, I swear I knew nothing of this.
Nobody knew.
He did. I saw him kissing her bubbies.
Her bubbies. I remember the bubbies.
The bubbies. I will say this: you just kind of wanted to punch that kid in the face when he.
Absolutely, but he was excited about the bubbies.
Yeah, and then he got paid for
He just
it.
reminds me of Joffrey.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, because he's a violent kid too, and apparently, the namesake, not the actual actor or not the character, but that name that he was, is an actual playwright who was known for very violent plays. So that was kind of the bit with him and feeding mice to cats, and I liked the killing part, things like that. I liked it when she stabbed herself. And Sam, you were talking about earlier those kind of Easter eggs. Here's one.
What do we do now?
The show must,
Go on.
Yeah. So there you go. Mr. Weasley doing a good job. And it's a good thing. Queen Ex Machina, Corny?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna shut this thing down, says the guy from Ace Ventura 2, and then Queen was like, nope. And then and she does what only a queen can do, right? She comes walking in, and everyone bows because you're scared of Dame Judi Dench. M.
Would you be?
From Bond? Yes.
Yes.
When M comes in, and she's like, that's a woman, and she's like, nope, you're mistaken. That's a dude.
Now I saw him kissing your boobies.
Well, no, the kid didn't say that with a queen there. Or bubbies.
Bubbies.
I just thought it was great. She's like, no, but then the end is kind of sad, which makes this definitely not an American rom-com.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I like this.
Me too, and it was funny because Sarah, my wife, fell asleep watching the movie. So when she woke up, she had never seen it before or didn't remember it. So I'm telling her about it this morning or yesterday morning, whenever it was, and she's like, wait a minute, he doesn't end up with the girl? I said, no, remember he's married still. And she was like,
so is she? Or she is now.
Yeah, she is now, and the queen can't even tear asunder. And so she's going to go be miserable in America.
And apparently walk on a beach that is forever.
Well.
Huge.
Why not?
Does Virginia have beaches that are like 800 miles long?
Maybe.
From the water to the...
According to Pocahontas, they have waterfalls that are 300 feet tall on the coast. That's not a thing either, so why not?
That's true.
I'm gonna...
Well, maybe they did until white man came and...
Oh, you think that's what happened?
Yeah.
The white man came and...
We'd like to level things.
Is that what we paid?
We put a Walmart there.
Yeah. We kind of suck in that way, yeah.
Where doth you get those shoes? I must...
Hold on. Call back. Ready for it? At Walmarticus. That was for Chad.
I am Walmarticus. No, I am Walmarticus.
No? Okay. No, I am Spartacus. I'm with you, pal.
Yes.
That's all I got. Oh, tropes. Writer's block trope. The writing. Oh, hold on.
Writing?
Wait.
There's some of that too.
I gotta find it. Here it is. We had a writing montage.
We did.
And
That's
then
right, yeah.
and then we had a... Come on. Holy crap, what did I just do? I actually erased the tag. We had a rehearsal / writing the play / sex montage.
Nice.
Right?
Right.
Because that was happening. They were literally writing the lines and then showing the rehearsal, and then they were having sex. And we got to see her boobies. And and then of course you have the defiant woman in a time period when that's not a thing that would ever happen kind of role, like, she's like Brave or Aladdin, Jasmine in Aladdin, or like these moments where these women who are in these societies where the men control their fate, and they determine that they're not going to let you control their fate because it's a movie.
And they're women.
And they're women in the movie. Any other tropes did you guys have?
Oh, you get the trope of the guy who you think is going to screw something up, and then he does the thing and he's awesome. You see
yeah, the stuttering dude, and then he's great.
Yes.
Yeah,
or the guy who doesn't talk a lot and then has like an incredible speaking voice.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they did that. They did that bit with that bit specifically in Gone in 60 Seconds with the British guy, and then he says the line, and everyone's like looking at him because he's British, and he's like, "I thought you were from South Central," But yeah, I know what you're talking about. The guy who you think is going to screw up. I like that. It's a good trope. Any other ones?
Indeed.
I don't know.
You got boy meets girl, girl becomes boy, boy meets boy,
boy kisses boy.
Boy has sex with boy while boy watches. This is getting weird.
Yeah, this is boy. Yeah. When you
oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. When you put it like that,
Well,
this movie
rocks
just
and
got
cheer loudly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, she was great.
Well, how's that conversation go on later? So, yeah.
Did you have a good time? Yep.
You know, I waited outside for 3 hours.
No, it was long. It was longer than 3 hours. She fell asleep. It was the next morning.
Yep.
I mean, it was an all-nighter.
Walk of shame time.
Yeah, for him.
Yep.
And good for him.
Her and her puppies.
And her puppies. I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, she's naked. All right, cool. Well, good for her. I mean, hey, you won an Oscar. I mean, I guess probably not for that, but
we got to see Pepper's Pots.
Please let that be the name of this episode.
Please, yes, Pepper's Pots. Gotta do it.
Oh, we'll see if iTunes lets me do it.
There are two words that aren't bad. I can't imagine.
Awesome.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Andrew.
That's good job, Andrew.
No problem.
Oh, that was actually really funny.
We all got to see Pepper's Pulse.
Yes, we did.
Oh my gosh.
What was I gonna do here? Oh, audible.com. Are you guys done with the tropes? Okay,
it's like a warm dream.
Audible.com sponsored this show, where you can go to audible.com and get this play, the actual Romeo and Juliet play, and be just as depressed as we are. And
all are banished. That's all I remember.
Nice. I actually remember the movie, the one with Leo and Claire Danes, and kind of hating it because it was a Baz Luhrmann thing and it was weird and loud, but whatever. But audible.com is not...
Wait a second. You didn't like Moulin Rouge?
I did like Moulin Rouge.
Well, that was a Baz film.
And it is weird and loud, but I think partly is because I liked the actors in it, and I liked the music song selections that they played. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I liked the music. I like the Romeo and Juliet thing. It had modern music, yeah, and they used guns. And John Leguizamo was great as a weird dude that he always plays. But I remember really not liking it. But I was also at that age where, for some reason, I hated Leonardo DiCaprio because every girl in America thought he was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
and he was on the footsteps of Titanic. So it's not really, it's more of a me thing than anything else. I'm sure the movie's fine. I don't know if it holds up. I haven't seen it in 20 years, but no, I like Moulin Rouge. I think that's a great movie. I mean, Ewan McGregor is great, but I also like Ewan McGregor, and I like Nicole Kidman. So, and Jim Broadbent, old Professor Slughorn himself. Bet you didn't know that. Or maybe you did. I don't know. But you know who did know? Audible.com.
And that little Mexican guy.
John Leguizamo? Yeah, I mentioned him.
Did you?
Yeah, I said he was in...
Oh. I thought you were talking about the guy in Harry Potter.
No, I said... I'm not going to repeat what I said. Anyway, you can go back and listen to the tape. Audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews. Judi Dench won an Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for her role as Queen Elizabeth, although she is on screen for only about 6 minutes in 4 scenes. This is the second shortest performance to win a Best Actress in a Supporting Role. The shortest ever performance was by Beatrice Straight in Network in 1976, and she appeared in only 5 minutes of film. Those were damn good 5 minutes if she won an Oscar for 5 minutes.
Well, just, you got to admit, Judi Dench won it because of her forehead.
No, you think that's what it is? I don't know.
Yep, she's a giant
Do you think
forehead.
she shaved that, or was it
Had to makeup.
a wig?
Oh, yeah, that makeup. Yeah, definitely makeup. So I think Sam, I can't remember who mentioned the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow, though, is weird and things offset. She was really good in this movie. This piece of trivia reminds me of why I kind of hate her as a person. Because she's also come out and said some really dumb political things, and as a human being, I think she kind of sucks a little bit. But as an actress, she's fine. I mean, she was really attractive in Shallow Hal. But anyway, Gwyneth Paltrow saw the script at Winona Ryder's office table in '97 and asked her if she could read it. Then Paltrow got the part without telling Ryder she was even trying for it. The former friends haven't been friends since then because Paltrow's selfishness, later winning an Oscar for the part. I kind of see why
That's
people.
hateful.
It kind of is. It is kind of mean. Now I like that little bit where whoever wrote the trivia added in the because of Paltrow's selfishness. So it makes me kind of feel like Winona Ryder wrote that piece of trivia.
Well, in all fairness, Ryder got Mr. Deeds, so.
Yeah, maybe this was the reason why she got arrested for stealing shoes. Who knows? But I mean, let's be honest too. Winona Ryder wasn't going to win the Oscar for this. It wasn't like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? There are some parts where you just, like The Revenant was done so that he could win an Oscar. But there are some parts where you read and go, oh yeah, this has got Oscar written all over it. I don't know if she read this and was like, oh yeah, this has got Oscar worthy, written all over it. But I don't know. I don't think Winona Ryder is that particularly great an actress. So Judi Dench was so taken with the full-sized replica set for the Rose Theater that Miramax gave it to her to take home when filming ended. Variety the magazine, reported in early '99 that she was looking for a site and a financial backer so she could be used as a working theater. How flippin' awesome is that? I think that's great.
Heck yeah.
And Kenneth Branagh, who we know from Harry Potter.
3?
No, he was in Iron Man 3. No, he was in we did see him for this podcast. He was the bad guy in Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit.
Oh.
Okay. He was also the director of that movie, but he was also Professor in the second Harry Potter movie, the Defense Against Lockhart, Defense Against the Dark Arts. That's him. That's Kenneth Branagh. He also played wheelchair dude in Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Daniel Day-Lewis, Jodie Foster, Julia Roberts, Meg Ryan, and Winona Ryder were all considered for lead roles.
Daniel Day-Lewis would have been a good one.
So that leads me into our next bit, our section of who would we recast? How would we recast this movie today? In 2016, we're making this movie again. Who are we doing some of the main roles?
I'm thinking Emma Watson for the role of.
Ooh!
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
And not just because we would get to see her boobies, but
Bubbies.
Her bubbies.
Bubbies.
Her pots.
Yeah, she wouldn't have to be naked or anything. Yeah, Emma Watson, that's great. So who's the
or Watson's Elementaries? Huh?
Who is Watson? I got you. Who is the lead star? Who is a young British actor that we?
Jude Law might have been okay.
He's too old now.
Yeah,
not the opposite of Emma Watson. That's kind of creepy now.
Rupert Grint.
No.
I mean, you say Daniel Radcliffe, but
no, I don't think he can do it.
No,
yeah, that'd be weird. I'm just
Neville Longbottom.
He actually probably could, because have you seen him recently? He's good shape. He's ripped. Yeah. I'm trying to think of some young British actors out there. I mean, or who could at least play British.
What's that Colin Morgan. That was. You ever see the show Merlin?
Yeah,
British show Merlin.
I know of it.
Yeah, he's Merlin. He plays Merlin on the show.
Sure. I don't know him well enough. I'm trying to think of some other guys who could play.
Keanu Reeves.
I can't see him with a British.
Yonder window breaks.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't see him as that.
Bobbies.
If we were gonna kind of go with more of the comedic aspect, I could see Melissa McCarthy as the nurse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't, for some reason, I like Andrew Garfield is in my head. I don't know why. I don't know if we can play British though. I don't know if he can do rom-com. I don't know. This was kind of tough.
Ted Mosby.
Ted Mosby, Josh Radnor.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a good one. I guess we can't come back to it because this is the part of the show where we do this thing. This is interesting. I the best casting so far definitely is Emma Watson. So good job, Corny.
Yes.
You win the day. There's a lot of course, your little ancillary characters you can just fill in with. I mean, like, you can still have Colin Firth in the movie, but have him in a different role. You know, like have him as the money guy, Tom Wilkinson, or even as the Jeffrey Rush character.
Well, you know what I have to admit? The Ben Affleck character, I don't know, just him being Ben Affleck kind of took away from that from me.
Really?
In terms of it being the Shakespearean era. I don't know. I just never really, I don't know if it's not getting it per se, but it just didn't seem right. It seemed like he was a time traveler from another time.
Well, he was actually,
maybe
one of the piece of trivia I read that I didn't write down was that he was actually asked to be the lead, and he turned it down because he didn't want the part.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do like another part. Like he just didn't think that he could. I mean, he probably can't pull off British accent for an entire movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Daniel
But I just didn't. I don't know. I just.
Daniel Craig or Jason Statham.
Oh, I know who's the guy. I know who's the love interest. Or Shakespeare. You'd have to like change his look, but the kid that was Eggsy from The Kingsman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like he could do it. You just have to make him, more brooding, I guess, and give him some facial hair
and some acting lessons.
I think
the Ben
he's
Affleck
fine.
character.
Yeah.
I could see as Henry Cavill, Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And heck, we can, if we're going that route, we can put Armie Hammer in as the Tom Wilkinson guy because he's kind of big and scary. I like this. This is good. I didn't even do the whole bit who looks like, so I'm not going to unless we just want to do it real quick. But
well, you kind of did, apparently Claire Danes and
Claire Danes, yeah. Claire Danes with drawn in eyebrows.
Actually, Jeffrey Rush's picture looks like a guy who goes out to the park and plays chess every Sunday.
Yeah, he does.
By himself.
By himself. Well, no, not by himself. Actually, you know what he kind of looks like? This will only matter to the four of us listening to this podcast, or doing this podcast. But he kind of looks like, in that picture, he kind of looks like Mr. Clark.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
I'll see this.
Yeah. That kind of touches my soul a little bit.
Yep.
Sorry for those listening at home. Anyway. Soundtrack great. I'm going to just give it an A for awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was super appropriate. And
fun.
Yeah, it was good. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was just straight beautiful. It was beautiful music. And what did I learn? I kind of learned that I want to read some Shakespeare a little bit. Truth be told. Yeah. Anything else? We good? Any last words or forever hold your peace? Okay. Not that one. This one.
Man, you are having all kinds of...
I really am. Top 3. Well, this is a Best Picture winner. Oscar, Best, Academy Award winner. And it is Oscar season. They're a week ago as we record this episode. But it is still kind of that time of the year.
Congratulations, Mr. Leo.
Yeah, for finally winning one for The Revenant. I need to see it.
It's a hard movie to get through.
That's what I've been told. but it's kind of hard to watch and to get through.
You're a hard movie to get through.
Thank you. Was that for me or for Sam?
You give love a bad name.
Oh, okay. We've turned into 80s music, right? Is that 80s? Yeah, it's 80s.
Yeah, I think so. Early 90s at least.
You give love a bad name. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna do our top 3.
You just channel Scott Stapp.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Well, there's a little bit of Pearl Jam in there too. I didn't move my teeth, so
they all sound the same.
Yeah. Best picture winners. So you've got a whole bunch of movies to pick from, and Andrew, you lead off.
All right. Well, I have an honorable mention to start with, The King's Speech that we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Number 3, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
I finally saw that.
Isn't it a cool movie?
Were you as confused at the ending as I was?
Yes, I had to look it up online, and when I read about it, I finally understood what they were trying to do. It was wild.
What were they trying to do? Because I don't get it. I didn't read anything about it. It just confused the hell out of me. Seriously.
It had something. It's one of these. It's almost like a Kubrick film type of idea, where it's the focus slowly went from these people who were decent characters to the focus being on the killer and what he was doing, and basically there was no sympathy for the good people in the end. Read about it. I can't even describe it.
The hero.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about that. Ooh, somebody's drumming on their microphone.
Well,
sorry.
I was trying to figure out what that noise was. It's Corny typing away on his keyboard.
I was doing the solo from Wipeout when I would get nervous.
Oh, nice. All right, keep going, Andrew. No Country for All Men. Brendo.
Yeah, number 2, Silence of the Lambs.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Which we did for this podcast.
Yeah. And then
it puts the lotion on
maybe...
the skin. It puts the lotion in the basket.
I've been doing that more often since I'm getting older. I'm finding that I crack and bleed just randomly.
Nice.
Yeah. And in a surprising twist, my number 1 favorite best picture movie of all times is actually My Fair Lady.
All right.
Awesome.
I was forced to watch it when I was a senior. Yeah. I was forced to watch it when I was a senior in high school, and I thought this is going to be awful, and I ended up absolutely loving it. And the music's wonderful. I actually sang one of the solos in there from the professor for my voice class when I had to suffer through that class.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Corny.
Thank you for saying suffer, because I did too.
So it basically, My Fair Lady turned into the Julia Roberts, what's its name later on, right?
Sort of, yeah.
One?
Yeah, the
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman, yeah.
Pretty Woman, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. They make that joke in the King's Speech, or the Kingsman, right?
Yep.
Where he's trying to he's like, have you seen the Pretty Woman? No. Have you seen this movie? No. Have you seen this movie? No. Well, this is what happens. Oh, you mean like in My Fair Lady? Yes. All right. Corny.
Damn these. All right, so my number 3 is going to be Forrest Gump.
All right.
My number 2 will be Rain Man.
County Cards.
And
nice.
Thought it was very interesting. I didn't understand what his problem was or his issue. So it took I saw it probably in like 93. And it probably was up until like 99 before I was like, oh, this guy has or some type of mental issue. And I was like, I just didn't catch it because I'm a silly man. And then number 1 would be Driving Miss Daisy.
Really?
Because believe it or not, because A is Morgan Freeman's in it. But number 2, just the banter between Morgan Freeman and I always forget the woman's name. Oh, come on, Cornelius.
Helen Mirren.
No.
Fran Dresser.
No, stop it. It's the old lady.
Judi Dench.
Not Judi Dench. Oh, gee whiz.
Although Helen Mirren and Morgan Freeman, that would have been fantastic. Oh, well, come on, IMDb.
I'm nearly there.
Southern lady.
She's not racist. Well, maybe she is.
Was she not?
Jessica Tandy.
There you go.
Yeah, just watching that relationship, quote unquote, grow. But just the basically, it's like having Will Smith do his thing before Will Smith could do his normal quips to people under his breath. Or sorry, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I enjoyed that movie very much. So,
all right,
cool.
Was that yours 3?
That is my 3.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't remember. Sorry, dude. Sam.
All right, I've got an honorable mention of Shawshank Redemption.
Didn't win.
It should have.
I know, but it didn't.
That's why it's honorable mention. My number 3 is Gladiator.
All right.
I can watch that movie at any time. I love that thing. The soundtrack, the movie itself is absolutely amazing. My number 2 is Lord of the Rings.
Are you not entertained?
Return of the King.
Yeah.
And then number 1, best movie I've probably ever seen. Probably a movie I'm only going to see once or twice in my lifetime, though. Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be my 3.
Okay.
How about you, Shawn?
Honorable mention is going to go for me. It would be to Gladiator. I love Gladiator.
Yes.
I tell you what, I'll switch out my honorable mention for one that wasn't mentioned, Braveheart. And put Braveheart in
Yeah,
there.
Braveheart was our Gladiator before Gladiator.
Yeah, the only problem with Braveheart, it's 1,000 hours long. It's just a long movie. I remember my buddy, Steve Everett. He went with his parents to go see it, and he invited me along. And this is long before we were not 18, but we were allowed to watch such movies. And the only reason why I didn't go is because it's like a 3.5 hour long movie or something like that, right? Like it's a 3 hour plus movie. And my parents were like, by the time you get back, it'd be like 1 a.m. or something like that. So,
by the way, do they do not matinees? Do they do the in the middle of the movie they'll stop it where you could go use the bathroom? What
they
do they
did
call that?
for intermission.
Intermission. Thank you.
Yeah, they did for that movie because it was long as hell.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway.
thought I remembered Titanic doing that as well.
I don't remember that, but
I'm so
anyway,
sure.
I saw that movie like 4 times in the theater too. Lots of dates in high school. Yeah, it was a good date movie. And you just kind of laugh whenever he doesn't get up on the door for some reason.
Did you have someone with you?
Yes, I had girls with me.
Oh. I figured maybe you just followed somebody.
No. Hey, can I come sit with you guys? I just want to see Leo and I just want to see her bubbies.
Her bubbies.
My number 3 is Forrest Gump.
Okay. Shawshank should have beat Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. Don't get me wrong. Shawshank should have beaten it.
I mean, for that year, you could have also made a good argument for Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
I think the better.
Amazing year.
I think the best film won. I think Forrest Gump is a better film than Shawshank, but Shawshank is amazing. Before all of the things that it is, but it didn't win. King's Speech is my number 2. One of the few movies that when the Academy came out with the list, and I actually decided to watch some of them, and was actually really enjoyed it because I don't like any of them.
Like The English Patient. I'm looking at all the list here. Probably the worst film I've ever seen. One of them.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like it either, and
I hated English Patient.
I saw that one too. Yeah, that year actually I would have given it to either Fargo or Jerry Maguire. Truth be told.
Yep.
Because both of those are actually movies you can sit down and watch and enjoy. Actually, I feel like Good Will Hunting should have beat out Titanic, but that's also because we did it for the podcast, and I really freaking liked that movie. Anyway, and then my number 1 is Return of the King. I love that movie.
Yes.
A lot. And it won like 1 million Oscars.
And it's so sad how bad the Hobbit movies ended up being.
Oh, yeah.
I
They're laughable. We were actually talking about that today at lunch, how just they're kind of offensive. at the money grab that they were, because that's all they were, was a money grab, and it just makes me sad. But anyway, that's all. No email this week. That's okay. We still love you, the listeners, anyway, even though you apparently don't love us.
Not as much.
Yeah. No, Corny doesn't love you. That's fine.
Corny loves no one.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate.
Except for Joe Pesci. I love me some Joe Pesci.
Which is weird.
Mm.
Out of 10. Sorry, I guess I have to intro you. Andrew. Oh, wait.
Yes, I'm going to go with 6.25. No,
Okay.
I'm going to go higher.
6 point. That's what you gave John Wick for what it's worth.
Yeah, I did? Wow.
Yeah, it's the exact same score.
Yeah, I should go higher then, because I enjoyed it more than John Wick. Does that make me
Yeah,
guess?
you guys were all over the place with John.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I know. Let's just go with a nice solid 6.8.
Okay. 6.8. Making the math fun. Corny.
I also enjoyed this movie, and obviously it won for a reason. I'm going to go with a 8.14.
All right.
Nice.
Sam.
Sorry, and
what?
Oh,
Corny, you started saying something?
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, okay. Sam?
Oh, okay. I think I will give this 7.83 bubbies out of 10.
That sounds weird.
Yep.
To have
One
7.
bubby is bigger than the other.
But to have 7, I mean, if you would have had at least a round number at the first number, the girl from Total Recall was there, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Or 7.83 unwrapping presents that end up being bubbies out of 10.
Okay. Sure, I'm with you there. When he discovered Pepper's pots.
Discovering Pepper's pots. Coming to a theater near you. Mm.
Is that the porn version of this of Iron Man?
That's just one.
I'm gonna give this. I like
Man's
it.
Iron.
I had a good time with this, so I'm gonna say a 7. 7.25. I'm gonna be kind of boring.
Okay.
7.25. Bendy swords when you're trying to stab the bad guy. So there you go.
They make a pill for that.
Oh, well, that's true. They do now. They didn't then. So that's okay. That's gonna do it for us for this episode. That Shakespeare in Love. I'm Jen. I thank you seriously for that. That was
a good suggestion.
That was actually genuinely great, and I'm really glad I watched it. I really am. I'm glad I watched it. Will we be saying the same thing next week after we watch Big Trouble in Little China? Stay tuned to find out. So that's our next movie, Big Trouble in Little China. Netflix just dumped a bunch of new movies for March. I think our list might change up a little bit because there's some stuff that just got dumped in there that I kind of want to watch kind of now before it gets taken away. So we will talk off air about that. But regardless of what changes we make in the future, we would definitely be doing Big Trouble in Little China next week. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully it won't take me an extra 4 days to post this episode. It shouldn't. But anyway, I apologize for the last week. And that's going to do it for us here at Cheapseat Reviews. So, at your convenience, please go by iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play and leave us a review. I mean, you certainly don't have to; it's a free country, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice if you did. Visit our website, cheapseatreviews.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. Follow us on Twitter at CheapSeatCast. I am at Shawn J. Allred, at Soniji, which is SONEJI 16. Corny is at Johnny Darko 16. And Andrew is, of course, at A. Jimison on Twitter. You may send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. You don't want to, but you may. Am I trying to guilt you, the listener, into sending us emails? Maybe. Is it working? No.
Kill him.
I'm not Catholic, so I'm not, or Jewish, so I'm not good at the guilt kind of thing, but that's fine. If you are both of those, or either one, that joke is actually kind of funny. Stop it. Oh, yes, thank you, Deadpool. Oh, you may also call us and leave us a voicemail. That's right. That is a thing. So if you are driving down the road, listening to this show right now,
Miss Daisy,
and you're like, you know what? I just want to go say I hate your show or I love your show. Call 704-271-4290, and you can leave us a little voicemail, and we'll play it on air if someone ever does. You'll be the first. Sam is calling it right now, apparently. So please do that. So on behalf of Andrew, Corny, Sam, this is Shawn saying goodnight. Thank you for listening, and, go enjoy some bubbies.
I'd like to see some boobies.